The Kyler Murray signing is a great reminder on why this is a make or break year for Jalen Hurts.
Stand up! New York Giant fans, Bengals, are you ready for game number 1?
Let's freaking go, baby! I'm ready! Let's do it! We look good out here! We look good today!
Daniel Jones is going to be better than Dak Prescott. When I said I wanted to punch him in the windpipe and watch him choke to death, I would like to punch him right in the freaking mouth!
Not many people talk about dolphin sex, so I am probably the best in the world at that. You know, I'm one of the better ones at that. That's probably my best talent, actually. And I am banned from SeaWorld. That is true, actually.
I would let a bald eagle piss in my mouth right now for a Bengals victory.
The Giants always stink. Yo, by the way, Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. We are less than a week away from training camp. Less than a week away, and as far as I'm concerned, day 1 of training camp, the first day of training camp, it is football season. And when it's football season, it is then double moonwalk that ass season. And we're going to do a lot of double moonwalking this season. We're going to double moonwalk teams. We're going to double moonwalk people like Mark Holmes. We're going to double moonwalk whoever gets in our way. Matter of fact, the double moonwalks have already started, okay? Cannot wait for the season to begin. And this season, to me, is do or die for Jalen Hurts. Now, we're going to get into it in a second, but before we do that, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe for daily football content, daily Eagles content. Once camp starts, it's going to be like 2-3 videos a day. The live streams are already starting back up. I'm going to be on a bunch of different channels over the next 4 or 5 days, starting tomorrow with AK Eagles, Eagles Uncensored. Check it out. Can't wait. I'll put the link in, and I'll let you know whenever I'm going on anybody's channel so you guys can go and watch if you want as the days come. Also, you know, if you've been subscribed for a while, just double moonwalk check. Make sure you're still subscribed. Now, this is going to be an amazing season. This is high stakes, man, especially for Jalen Hurts. As many of you guys know, today, Kyler Murray signed a 5-year, $230.5 million extension with the Pound Cardinals. It will pay him $30 million in the first year, $69 million over 2 years, and $106.1 over 3 years per source. He is set to make $46.1 million a year, okay? Now, why is this significant? Why is this important? It's simple. Because at the end of this season, the Eagles have to make a decision on Jalen Hurts. You see, right now, the Eagles can't give a contract extension to Jalen Hurts. They have to wait till after this season. Once the end of the season happens, he is eligible for a contract extension. And you know the way the NFL works. You know the way the salary cap works. One guy gets paid, and it's the biggest contract since sliced bread. Even though Murray's wasn't the biggest, it's up there. Okay? But it's only as good until somebody comes along and signs another contract and makes more. So maybe by the time Jalen Hurts is eligible for a contract extension, Jalen Hurts may have 2 or 3 other guys that have now had contract extensions, which is only going to raise the price of what he's going to cost. Now, when you look at Kyler Murray, right, and you look at Kyler Murray, he threw for 3,787 yards last year, 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 57.3 quarterback rating, okay? And then you look at what Jalen Hurts did, right? 3,144 yards, 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and a quarterback rating of 48.5. I believe 100% that Jalen Hurts is going to bring all those numbers up. Matter of fact, I think by the end of the year, he's going to surpass the numbers that Kyler Murray had last year. So here's what I expect from Jalen Hurts, okay? I expect 25 touchdowns passing at least. I expect about 4,000 yards passing, maybe 10 to 13 interceptions. But I expect him to have a huge upswing statistically, especially when you look at what the Eagles put around him, okay? So, in my opinion, if Jalen Hurts has the year I think he's going to have, he's going to be making similar money to what Kyler Murray is getting. I believe that. I believe that to be true. And here's the thing. If he's not, if he's a quarterback worth $30 million, are the Eagles going to even bother giving him an extension at that point? Right? You want him to get paid as one of the top quarterbacks because he's been that good. And, you still got guys like Lamar Jackson who are looking for a contract extension. What's he going to get? Lamar Jackson's probably going to get $50 million a year. So, by the time Jalen Hurts' contract extension comes up, the Eagles have to pay him or they have to know he isn't the guy. And look, that isn't fair probably in today's sports where, you're not giving guys enough time to develop. But the truth of the matter is that's because of the way that they do their salary cap, and that's the way that they pay guys. If the Eagles, let's say they decide not to extend Jalen Hurts and give him one more year, that could cost them millions and millions of dollars more in the long run because there's going to be a bunch of other quarterbacks that are going to get extensions. And then if you decide, hey, we have to sign Jalen Hurts, he's a free agent, or you have to franchise tag him, you're paying him more money. So really, the Eagles have to make a decision on whether or not to sign Jalen Hurts to an extension at the end of this year. At the end of this year, one way or the other, they're going to have to know. So this season is so important for Jalen Hurts. It's so important for him. And, that's why I'm happy with that's why they made Little Howie made me proud. He went out and he put all these weapons around Jalen Hurts so that they can have the best option, the best chance to evaluate Jalen Hurts. There's not going to be Jalen Hurts doesn't have he only has Devontae Smith. He has no other wide receivers. He has no running game. His offensive line sucks. You're not going to be able to say that. Jalen Hurts is going to have to go out and perform. And it's going to have to be this year. Because I don't see a scenario where the Eagles go into the last year of his contract, ignore an extension next offseason, and then risk having to pay him millions and millions and millions of dollars more because they waited for his contract to run out. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to make a decision on him this year. This is the other reason why you can't just go out and sign Jesse Bates, right? You trade for him and give up a first-round pick. You have to keep that New Orleans first-round pick. You have to keep 2 first-round picks for now because you may need to trade them to go get a quarterback, okay? And I'm talking about, let's say the Eagles, let's say they pick 20th with their pick. They pick 15th with New Orleans picks. You're gonna have to give up those 2 first-round picks, probably a first-round pick in 2024, and it's going to cost you a lot to get a quarterback. So because of the unknown with Jalen Hurts, the Eagles can't sit there and trade one of their first-round picks for a guy like Jesse Bates. They've got to go out and they've got to make sure Jalen Hurts is the guy. Now, let's say Jalen Hurts is having a fantastic year, and he's going out there, he's lighting it up, and we're all pretty sure he's the guy and he's the future and he's coming back next year moving forward. And let's say this is right around the trade deadline. At that point, if you want to give up a first-round pick to make a trade for a guy like a Jesse Bates or somebody else that you may need at the time, then you do it. But you have to be sure that Jalen Hurts is the guy first. And this Kyler Murray extension only reinforces how important this season is for Jalen Hurts. Because I do not believe the Eagles are not going to give him an extension at the end of the next offseason and then risk having to give him one at the end of his rookie year. Look at the Giants. The Giants did not pick up Daniel Jones' option year. Now, Daniel Jones is a first-round pick, but let's say Daniel Jones goes out and he has a great year this year. It ain't going to happen. He's Daniel Jones who stinks. But let's just say, for argument's sake, let's say, I don't know, Daniel Jones goes to some like Illuminati New World Order like event, and there's like all these like blood sacrifices or something, and somehow he switches minds with Tom Brady in talent, and then he goes into the season he's lighting it up as a Giant. This is so ridiculous of a story. It can't happen because he stinks. But let's just say Daniel Jones lights it up. And the Giants are like, we have to keep him now. We can't let him go. Okay? He's going to be a free agent, but we can't. He came out and he balled out. Now the Giants are going to have to pay him even more. A lot more than they would if they would have picked up his option year. So the Eagles are going to have to make that decision too. You have to either pay the man or you're going to have to move on. And I think that the decision has to be this year. And it's not fair because sometimes it takes guys 3-4 years to develop. It truly does. But when you're dealing with money and you're dealing with giving a guy $46 million a year, you're going to have to make that choice because if the Eagles don't sign him to an extension this offseason and they waited to after his final year of his contract and he went out and was great, it's going to cost them a lot more money. A lot more money. So you got to make that decision. The Eagles they don't get caught in situations like that. One thing you can say about Howie is they don't get caught in that. He's either going to do enough to earn a contract and they're going to take a chance on him, or he's not. Okay? But I expect him to make somewhere in that $40 million range when the time comes. And if he's only getting offered $30 million, then he's probably not the guy for the future. Why pay him that money anyways? So it's going to be very, very interesting. But two things that we have to watch. We have to watch Jalen Hurts, how he performs. And hopefully by performing well, and that's the best case scenario for the Eagles. The best case scenario for the Eagles is for Jalen Hurts and for Eagle fans. I don't care. If you're an Eagle fan, you should want Jalen Hurts to succeed. Okay? You should want him to succeed because then you have 2 first-round picks that you can now use in other spots in other areas next year. You can tie him up and give him an extension, which in a few years becomes a value. It's funny because people blasted me when I talked about A.J. Brown, going out and getting A.J. Brown or Debo Samuel or DK. I said I didn't care which one you go out and get. Call them all, try to trade for any of them. Whoever takes it, takes it. But when you sign one of those guys to an extension now, people will say, oh, look how much they're paying him, $20 million this year. But in 2 years, you're going to be saying, that's a good deal for A.J. Brown. That's a good deal making that trade a few years ago. Because as somebody becomes the highest paid guy, the big guy, somebody else is going to come up with a new contract. And then somebody else. We were talking about Patrick Mahomes making ridiculous amounts of money. Now he's like the 4th or 5th guy. Okay, so it changes quick. So I expect Jalen Hurts to have to be a $40 million type player for the Eagles to sign him into an extension. Do I think he can do it? Yeah. I look at Kyler Murray, I look at his statistics, and I say, Jalen Hurts could do that. Jalen Hurts can do that. And so I fully expect him to go out there, do it, and my prediction is that the Eagles will give Jalen Hurts an extension next year. And he will go out and he will put up better numbers than Kyler Murray did last year. If he doesn't, it's disappointing. To me, if the Eagles do not win this division, it's disappointing. It's just how I see it. So, Kyler Murray contract, interesting. Who falls next? Is Lamar Jackson next? How many guys will sign before the Eagles get the opportunity to give Hurts an extension, and will he earn it this year? That's the question. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. It's how we vision. We're all just living in it. Dallas. Now Dallas. They got an alternate helmet that they introduced today. A white helmet with a satanic star in the middle. Who cares about that? It's ugly. It's actually not that bad. But why are they announcing their alternate helmets? Giants alternate helmet. What about us? I want to see the merchandise. Hey, yo, little Howie. I want to see the merchandise. Where is it? Denzel Washington out.